Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my last video, my final video for the Under the Dome television series on CBS. This one is for the series finale, Season 3, Episode 13, which is called The Enemy Within. Okay, and this one will contain spoilers. This is going to be my spoiler review for the final episode of Under the Dome. So this one was a cool watch for me. It was one that I was looking forward to, even though, I started off the third season. You guys have heard me talk about this before. I really liked the beginning, the premiere, and the first few episodes. Then we got into this kinship thing, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like Christine Price as a character. I didn't really like Ava too much. And I just don't like this whole idea of this kinship thing. I mean, I think the execution was really the problem for me, is that it didn't feel believable. Had they have been more careful with it, maybe had a little bit better writing, had set it up a little bit better, maybe with a prior character in a prior season, and then have them come up to be this Christine character or something, I think it could have been done a lot better. But nevertheless, it's the third season of the show, and I'm not sure how many seasons they began the series thinking they were going to get out of it. They had the first season, they clearly set it up for a cliffhanger for a second. But I'm not sure if they thought it was going to go 3 seasons or 5 seasons or 2 seasons. I don't know in the beginning how many they set out to think. But here's the thing with this one. The pilot episode for Under the Dome, because it was a great beginning to it, and it made for a great trailer because you have the dome and stuff. So it was something a lot of us were looking forward to. I actually reviewed it when it hit, the night that it premiered. It got 13 million views. So that's the highest viewed episode ever of Under the Dome. The second last episode, because we don't have the numbers for the final one yet, got 3.7 million. So that's a drop of 10 million viewers. Also, it got moved around. It used to be on Sunday nights. It got moved to Thursday nights. And this year, especially with Season 3, I've noticed a lot of people just not talking about it anymore, don't care about it anymore during the summer. No buzz, nothing. Just absolutely nothing compared to the first season when it, looked like a really good show and started off pretty good. So maybe this won't be my last video. Maybe I'll do a review for the series as a whole, give my thoughts on the different parts. So third season, not my favorite season, my least favorite season of the 3. This episode. Okay, so here's the spoiler part. The first half of the episode, I have a big problem with. There's so much overacting and it just feels so ridiculous and unbelievable. It's hard to watch. And a lot of this kinship stuff has in Season 3, where you have characters that are, they're moving like this and they're talking like this. If a character ever talks like this in a show, I'm ready to shut it off. It just drives me berserk. It's like overacting. Like, don't do that. It's like no one believes you. No one is into this experience when you're doing this. Like, don't ever do. Okay, so with the overacting, kind of the first half. As we get in the second half, we see some pretty big character deaths. We see, all right, here's the big spoiler part. So we see the death of Sam, who's a character that was pretty big in the last couple of seasons. So that was a pretty big one. We see the biggest one, the death of Junior, because he's a character that was introduced in the beginning of the show, and in the end, his father, Big Jim, ends up being the one to kill him. So that, for me, was the biggest part of the episode. For me, was like the big kind of emotional thing there. That was pretty sad to watch, and I did like that they did that, because in the end, you have to have some kind of big events happen, and kind of the whole thing come full circle possibly, and just have a big kind of have it be eventful, have things happen, and that was a big death, right? It was a huge death in the show, so that was pretty good. Then we go on from there, and we see kind of the last half is sort of them knocking down the dome. So the dome finally comes down, the military kind of comes in, and then we see their lives afterwards, but for real this time. In addition to that, the character, Barbie's daughter, who is, I guess, an alien hybrid baby. I don't know. So see, this is why I'm talking about Season 3. Alien hybrid baby queen, I don't know. So she's still alive. She doesn't die by falling down into this pit that he stomps a board out from under her, and she somehow survives it. So in the end, we finish off with basically a happy ending. We see a year later, we got a time skip, which was nice. Big Jim has been very successful. He's become like a politician, a congressman, and surviving the dome situation. You've got the men in black, who are the military in this one, who tell them, you didn't see any aliens. Nothing happened. There's no aliens. It's just an experiment that went wrong and that kind of thing. And so they spin it. They tell them all what to say and give them all a story. We see that Joe is still alive. Nori's still alive. A lot of our characters that have been throughout the show are, but we did get a couple of big deaths at the same time, so it was pretty good. So in the end, I thought the last half of this episode was really good because it's, like the final time you're going to see these characters in character. We knew the show was going to be canceled after season 3. There's going to be no season 4. And so it added a little bit more weight to it. That said, as a series finale, you expect to see big things. And we did in this one. Finally, the dome cracks, comes down. Our survivors that are still alive at this point go on to live what seems to be pretty fruitful lives for the most part and are happy for the most part. So I did like to see them kind of happy in the end for the few survivors that did survive all the way through the show. So I'll keep the overall series thoughts to myself for now. We can talk about that in a future video. We can kind of reflect on different parts of the series and that, my problems with it and everything. But for The Enemy Within, the finale itself, it was, I think, one of the better episodes in Season 3, even though it's been kind of riddled with problems here and there. Like I said, bad acting at the beginning, so it takes away from it. So in terms of a score out of 10, as I always do, for a series finale and a season finale, because we had the first half of this episode, which was so some of it was just cringeworthy. My girlfriend said it looks like a 90s show. It seems like a 90s show, and I got that 100%. I was like, you're right. It's a 90s show. That's what it is, because in the 90s, that was normal. It's like, oh yeah, I'm watching a TV show. It doesn't feel real. It feels like you're watching a show, which is not necessarily good. You want it to feel like a real experience when you're in it and you're going through it, right? You're watching it. So as a score, I'm going to give this one only a 5 out of 10. And I know that's pretty low, halfway basically, below average for a series finale, just because of how they handled it. They could have handled the show much different, as it went through. They could have really, after season 1, I think they could have done a lot of things with it and planned it out. But I think CBS maybe just didn't really know how to handle a show like this, didn't use it to all its potential, and could have done a lot better with it. But that said, as a whole, it didn't turn out to be that bad. It's a pretty decent show to watch during the summer. I'm not going to say it's great or good. It's okay if that's your type of genre. And in the end, the final episode was kind of a special episode because I had started reviewing it as soon as it started. I even reviewed the trailer and the first episode of the show. Now it's 3 years later, and unfortunately the show has come to an end. As we knew, we didn't know how many seasons it was going to last anyway. But so there's my review. It was a pretty good finale. Like I said, 5 out of 10. Not pretty good, but you guys get what I'm saying. It was emotional, I guess, because it's the final part of the show, the series finale. But the quality should have been better, I think, throughout season 3. It really dipped in quality from season 2 to 3, and it just seemed like they were kind of throwing it together. They didn't care. The acting wasn't always on point, and it just was, I don't know. But that said, I'm going to miss Under the Dome. I do think it was a okay series, and I did find it enjoyable quite a bit at certain points throughout the show. So let me know what you guys thought about the finale, the deaths that we went through with, and kind of getting to see a few of the characters happy afterwards after it's all said and done. I did like that part. That was my favorite part of the episode, just getting to see everybody, the survivors, the ones that made it. Write your comments below what you thought about it. I'm interested to see what you guys think about this one because people are going to be on different, are you sad the show's over? Do you think it's good that it's finally over? What do you think? Write your comments below. If you like the video, please thumb it up below. If you want to help support the channel, please share, please favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe, you can go ahead and subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for my episode reviews for this series, guys. I'll do one more, a review of the series as a whole, and then that's it. I'm washing my hands clean of Under the Dome. I'm done with it forever, permanently. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys for that one. As always, it's Trev. I'm saying peace.